Coach, the slow starts have been an issue before, but it seems like you kind of remedied it a bit for a month or so before the last two games. What have you seen in the last two that was sort of different from what you guys were getting early in games before?
Well, defensively, the intensity hasn't been there. You know, team shoot, I think Golden State shot a high percentage in the first half, and so did Philadelphia. So I would start with our defense. And then the ball movement has been an issue in the first and third quarters. So again, it's creeped back in a little bit, and we've talked about that, and we've got to get out of it. We got to come out with a sense of urgency that we haven't had in the last three games, I would say. And Cleveland game was different, and but I think it probably started in the Miami game, or maybe even the Brooklyn game, where we kind of was in a let's fill the game out, or let's outscore mentality.
And this is something you've talked about before, where it's a dangerous way to live in the NBA. So. You guys have been at the top of the league in comeback wins the last couple of years, but that's tough to rely on.
Yes, it's tough to rely on. And again, we got out of it. I thought we really improved in that area there for a long period of time. But like everything else in the NBA, things, it's ebbs and flows. And right now we got to make sure we get back to with the type of intensity and approach in the first and third quarter.
Why do you think Dwane has become a more effective three-point shooter?
Well, one, I don't know if teams really respect his three-point shot, which is okay with me because he knocks them down every day in practice. He works on it incessantly as far as his three-point shooting. Again, he's long. He can get it up over the defense. And with his feet set, he's a good shooter. But again, a lot of it, I think teams, I think he'll probably start seeing a different approach. Defense is getting there a little bit quicker, and he's going to have to be a little bit more decisive on it because teams are going to start running at him and running him off a little bit more.
You guys have been at him for years to be more assertive offensively. Are you seeing that now?
Well, he is. I think too, he's more comfortable, getting more confident, Doug, in his offensive game because it's there. Because he's probably one of our better attackers in making a play, whether it's kicking it out or finishing at the rim, because of his size. And again, he's got the green light. We've told him to be aggressive, and he's doing a good job of taking advantage of it and taking advantage of his opportunity when he goes in there playing with DeMar and Kyle, because it's not easy. It's not easy for a young guy to go in and tell two all-stars, give me the ball, I've got the ball, I'm going to run the show. I don't care who you are or what rookie you are. Other than Kobe Bryant, I remember him telling Karl Malone, get out of here. We was coaching an all-star game. But most rookies will defer to all-stars, and that's one thing. DeLon's not a rookie, but young players usually do.
But I mean, if teams do start running at him a little bit, I mean, that's got to play right into his hands.
Should you got the whole world opens up to you then, Michael, as you know, and that's what sets up his driving game will be his three-point shooting.
It's kind of weird to not have played a conference rival into January, and then you got four times the next 40 games.
Well, I know, and Detroit's playing really well. They're a very talented team. They're tough. They play to their identity. A team that that we know how good they are, and it's I guess a glitch in the schedule, I guess, but it's here. They came in here last year, and we had a 11, a 12, 13-point lead, and they just turned up the juice, and we didn't meet the challenge, and they come in here and beat us on a corner three-pointer by Caldwell Pope. So we've got to be ready to come in and meet the intensity of the other team, because like I told our guys, we're getting everybody's best shot, and we got to be ready to meet that and still approach the game with the hunger mentality, the aggressor mentality, and not come in and try to fill out the game the way we've done. Even against Golden State, I thought we came out and, okay, there's going to be a shootout and not get defense in the game first.
With regards to Kyle, can you sort of get your rhythm in shoot-around or in practice, or does it have
it's
to be
tough.
sustainable?
It's tough. It's very difficult to lay off and not as we don't have sustained practice. Like we had a short practice yesterday, but none that you're going to get your conditioning So, you know, he's getting his conditioning. But one thing about Kyle, he's getting a lot of – he came in yesterday morning, got some cardio in, exercise. He gets his work in, not when everybody sees it, but he, you know, does Pilates, he does running. So I trust that he's going to get his work in. But it's very difficult to do it if you're waiting on practice.
Mentally, when you see the shot go in during a game, does that weigh more in terms of your confidence than when you see it going into practice?
It is, because of the speed of the game, the intensity, the emotions, the physicality of the defense. You know, it helps. And again, once he sees it go through it a few times, like everybody else, it's going to help him. And you know, he's not going to forget how to shoot it.
Seems like tempers have been high in the league the last couple of weeks. Even for you guys, there's been more extracurriculars than usual. Kyle was saying yesterday that maybe it's the time of the year, mid-season, guys a little restless. I mean, even for you, there's been a lot more kind of competitive playoff-like atmosphere games recently. Do you have any theories as to why things are sort of happening?
You know, it's the intensity's there, and I think, like you said, it's that time of year, fatigue set in, you know, frustration or whatever it is. I don't know, but it seems like it's not just us, it's all over the league. And like I told our guys, we got to maintain our poise. You know, everybody gets upset when you don't get technicals, and then when you do get them, everybody goes crazy. So my thing is always been, is make sure we're under control, we're poised, because you're not going to change an official's call. I've always said we have some of the best officials in the world. They're going to make mistakes. And, you know, it's really out of character for me to go that far to get a technical, and because I don't believe that, you know, some people believe that it changes games. Only for a few people. It doesn't work for everybody. Our thing is we've got to make sure we maintain our poise, our composure, not get distracted by whatever happens, whether we are perceived missed call or perceived foul or whatever it is. We got to make sure we're under control and playing to our identity and not letting other things distract us, whether it's another player who might have said something on Twitter or whatever it is. We got to keep our focus and poise and play through it.
Is the relationship between players and officials as bad as you've seen it?
I don't think so. You know, again, and I say this with all sincerity, I think we have, because I've coached in other countries and seen other officials, we have the best officials in the world. And do we make mistakes? Yes. We make mistakes as coaches. You make mistakes as writers. So again, ours is more glaring, but you know, I don't think it's as. I think it's more. You have more Twitter. You have cameras everywhere, microphones everywhere, catching everything everybody says. Somebody's tweeting out right now what I'm saying, so everything is instant. I don't think it's anything different than what has been in the past. As far as tempers and flair, the league has done a great job of keeping the physicality out of the game, the fights, and so you know, I totally trust our officials and our league to control what's going on.
Are officials as prone to actually kind of have a dialogue with players over the course of a game and kind of maybe diffuse some situations?
Well, they're doing a good job of it. I think they're communicating. There's no question. There's far more communication now than it has been ever, and officials are trained to diffuse things and to communicate with players and, you know, coaches. But again, it shouldn't have to come to that. Let's play basketball. Let's forget about all the. We make mistakes as coaches. Players make mistakes as players. Officials make mistakes as officials. That's part of the human element of our sport, of any sport. So let's play the game. Let's don't make too big a deal out of it. And I think the coverage of it is just as, you know, as exciting as anything else. So let's play basketball, and that's for our whole league, for us, the league, everybody. Let's just play the game.